So we're going to be getting started here with the grand finals of the Titanfall 2 Wingman LTS Cup number 1. We're going to be spectating on the side of STN and Mr. Blablack for me. Going to be running that patented Legion Ronin composition that they've been picking up every now and then throughout the tournament, but this team is just very descriptive of each of the players in general. These are kind of some of their favorite Titans and ones that I know that they are very known for, especially Blablack on Ronin. So we'll have to see how they're able to stack up against Raikou and Ethereal, who've been running their double patented Scorch and Legion team. The meme team, if you will. These guys have been running something that no one else expected, no one else knows how to deal with, and they're absolutely dominating the tournament, going undefeated all the way into grand finals. We've already got a big fight breaking out here in the right lane. Blablack absorbing a lot of damage, but that Scorch pushing way in, doing that flame shield damage to two separate Titans all at the same time, and flame coring the whole team in one fell swoop. Ethereal showing that Papa Scorch is not something to be trifled with.
Yeah, don't even ask me to analyze that. There's like nothing to analyze. He just smashed them. Like literally smashed them with his big ogre hands.
Yeah, they overextended. The Ronin, as Mr. Blablack, was doing his job of trying to just soak that damage and try to create some sort of space for his Legion, but Papa Scorch don't care, man. He just ended their entire existence very quickly. STN exiting his Titan right off the bat and grappling on a base. Is he maybe going for like an instant battery pull because it's faster than running up with a Titan? He is. That is actually a really cool strategy, using that grappling hook to grab the battery right off the start. Very cool. And actually bringing the Titan on follow mode, because by the time it even follows all the way over. Oh no, he's bringing the battery over to Ronin. Very interesting strategy coming out from STN and Mr. Blablack here.
Yeah, so they're trying to prioritize the core that they want to counter the strap from Ethereal and Raikou.
But because of this, Raikou and Ethereal were able to grab their battery scot-free with absolutely no contestation on it whatsoever.
Well, Ethereal has taken some damage, dude. I don't believe he had a battery.
Raikou does have the battery that was just cleared off, but STN now in a 1 versus 2 engagement. Blablack is coming all the way around trying to flank, and it's just very, very slow. Black is in the kill hole against this Scorch. Oh, that was such a very bad dash in, but luckily he does have that sword block and definitely can block a lot of that damage, but you know, he gave up a lot of health and positioning to that Scorch here. Now, they have Raikou in a pinch, but they're not actually pincing Raikou. They had him in a position to be focusing him down, and they chose not to. They were instead shooting at the Scorch and kind of wasting their own time. And that was, unfortunately, their downfall in this round. Sure, they got the Scorch dead, but Scorch wasn't the problem. The Legion was. A little bit better team focus there might have saved it.
To be honest, that bad commit from Blablack really lost him the round, because he just lost all of his HP in being in that Scorch's face. Even if the Scorch ends up going down, you suddenly, as Ronin, don't have that HP to leverage against the other Titan, the Legion, so you can't tank all of that damage that they can output, and yeah, you're just out of options at that point.
And here we go again with that same strategy. STN leaving his Titan and grappling all the way up. I wonder if he's... Oh, this is actually very interesting. STN is grappling to the opposite side of the map, stealing the other team's battery. This is about the riskiest play that I've ever seen attempted in an LTS match ever, and it worked out flawlessly for him. He puts the battery in his own Titan. Mr. Blablack doing the exact same thing, grappling his way over, getting his own battery. Both players stole batteries from the middle of the map and just grappled all the way to their Titans. And now they're starting with a minute off the clock and more health than the enemy team.
And Ethereal is pushed up all the way in, and so is Raikou, so they're trying to challenge this, but they don't actually have shields, and they seem to be stuck around this partition wall, and Raikou is dashing straight into the fire from STN, and Blablack is already behind them, so this is looking very, very dangerous, and there's smoke everywhere, and they're both stuck in this lane, and they're being shot from both directions. Blablack just materializes up behind them again, and one of them goes down. Raikou is already in the air, there's a good satchel, but it's not happening to STN outright. He can maybe finish him up with this Thunderbolt, but it seems that no, he can't
And
do
they
it.
threw. Unbelievably,
Somehow.
they managed to throw. So that was
Yes,
such a
how did that
powerful.
happen?
Yeah, that was such a good fight for them. How it happened is that Mr. Blablack he lost that little mini Ronin punch battle that we were talking about so many times on stream already. He got punched 3 times when he should have killed off that last Titan, and he got executed, and then that gave Scorch a chance to just come up and win. The Legion on their team was positioned so aggressively that he could actually be killed by the Scorch. Like, those guys, they were doing so well, but they threw it at the very end. That Scorch was stuck in that lane behind the Legion, unable to assist in the fight whatsoever. So what does Blablack do? He goes to the Scorch. He doesn't abuse the Scorch. He goes to the Scorch and dies to the Scorch. I mean, that was a throw of the 10th degree. That was very unfortunate for Mr. Blablack and STN.
Yeah. It must be also, you know, mentally very straining because they had to feel like they had that round.
Yeah, they had him right where they wanted him. That could not have gone any better. Fighting way back in that field was
Oh, no,
so
and Blablack
beneficial
is
to their
committing
team.
already. This is
Yeah.
so bad from him.
Yeah.
He's stuck with a rock in a hard place again. He escapes with barely any health, I think.
Yeah, way too early of a commit. STN now has to commit to defending him. He's probably going to take a lot of damage in doing so. Well, luckily not, but, you know, if Ethereal and STN would have pushed that, or I'm sorry, Ethereal and Raikou would have pushed that, then that could have been a totally different ball game here. Raikou, full HP, full armor, full stick of butter. Just no contest there, just walking through the enemy team like they're made out of tissue paper. Mr. Blablack again with that scrappy play, just getting the batteries, but it's not going to matter. He cannot possibly win this one. That's going to be a 4-0 in favor of Raikou and Ethereal there. They're going to have to move on to the next map, and they got to figure this out really quick because they are on tournament point now. Or tournament match, I should say.
You can kind of taste the disappointment and the resignation in him. Like Blablack still has a shield, and like he's doomed, but he's trying to do something, and then he just materializes in front of the Legion, I think, and he just ejects. You know, just gives up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, mental stress in the grand finals of a tournament like this, especially one in a format that is not something played often on PC at all. This is the first PC Wingman LTS, like a real big tournament that has happened in Titanfall 2. Everyone is still feeling out what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to play, how they're supposed to react, and all that. And there's going to be tournament nerves happening in this. Doesn't matter how comfortable you are with TF1 LTS. Doesn't matter how comfortable you are with TF2 or TF1 CTF. You got to learn this brand new format, and as we're seeing, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to break that mental rattle that you get, especially when you have such long engagements. You know, it's not like in a CTF pilots versus pilots kind of format where if you get a little bit rattled, you can just slow down. You know, just plant yourself somewhere for a second, get a couple of frags, and start feeling better right away and start making a change. Like, you have to commit to long, mentally taxing engagements over and over in order to actually end up winning your matches. And when you're getting stomped by this, what a lot of people would call a meme composition this hard, it's hard to just get that mental fortitude running to max it out. And I think I'm not spectating.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, I am, fortunately. So, well, I'll take over in the beginnings of the rounds then.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's see what we have here.
All right, destroy those enemy Titans.
Titans are dropping in. So as expected, Ethereal and Raikou sticking to their guns. Nothing's changed. We've yet to see what Stian and Blablack are going to bring to the table, though. So there's a lot of initial spam coming out of Ethereal, just making sure to get any sort of chip damage in before the engagements even start. And he's already fighting Blablack, and Blablack is just backing off into the Legion. So he's just very tunnel visions into the Scorch. Is taking so much of his attention that he sort of ignores the ignores Raikou pretty much and
Yeah.
pays the price.
I
Goes
think
down to half
overall,
HP, runs
Black
away.
did end up playing that, I mean, well enough. It was a little bit aggro, but I mean, at the same time, it's kind of what you need to do with Ronin sometimes. STN did get a lot of damage out there. Black is down to 1 health bar, and you know who else is down to 1 health bar? Legion. So, sure, you know, he took a lot of health damage, but overall, they are at a pretty sizable health advantage right now. I mean, you know, for 3 Ronins, or rather for 2 Striders versus 2 Ogres. Like, they're at a pretty good health differential at this point in time. Now Mr. Blabla can play a lot more scrappy. STN can still just keep poking with that railgun over and over, getting a lot of free damage. Oh, big miss on Ethereal, unfortunately, but they also another big miss on that Legion. They really needed those hits to get that Doom off, or at least get a little more damage on the Scorch. Now Mr. Blablack really's got to make something happen by himself over here while their North Star is relocating all the way around the map. That was a failure in communication between Mr. Blablack and STN there. They were not working together. Black committed exactly when STN was running away.
Raikou getting a little bit of a breather due to that battery, giving him some extra HP to work with, and he's now repositioning to join his teammate around the slant building area. Ethereal is aggressively being that corner with his flame shield, but very questionable choice, just bringing STN's attention.
Ooh, STN, this is scary. Okay, that's alright. They did get the finish here. Making a comeback, using the map to their advantage. They seem much more comfortable here on Eden. I think that STN and Blablack were kind of wanting to play Eden earlier on in this tournament as well. I think this was probably one of their favorite maps, and it kind of shows. They seem a lot more comfortable on it, barring a couple of misplays and miscommunications.
Well, this is... So, can't be that bad, even if you're having some trouble communicating. Alright, here we go again. Raikou and Ethereal committing to the same push right away. They're going to the right side, which is going to be left on your side of things, and heading for that choke point. Raikou actually turning his attention to middle now, trying to see if anyone's trying anything cheeky.
Yeah, Mr. Blablack is staying far back on that right lane. Oh, he's finally pushing now into the Scorch. Pushes right past the Scorch. Scorch is now out of utilities. Black can start punishing Ethereal very hard. He's being a little too respectful, I think, but they're going to just start focusing down Raikou here. A lot of free damage. Mr. Blablack just going to walk away down the middle lane, blocking for STN, letting him continue standing out and getting free spot shots while he takes nearly no damage himself. Now he's going to occupy that right lane, hopefully get that battery pull. Is STN going to help cover him? Nope, STN's on the complete opposite side of the map. But all in all, didn't really matter. Honestly, I do feel that this is on a very poor map for Scorch. Scorch has to play in that one lane that Ethereal is in right now. If you're not playing in that lane, then Scorch suffers a lot. So it's making it very easy for STN and Black to play around it and use it to their advantage. You're seeing here they're making the exact same positions that they made in that last game for the most part. And it's just not panning out nicely for Raikou and Ethereal. I do think that they might want to consider a switch away from Scorch because it just is not doing work for them. And STN looking the wrong direction entirely. Is there just no communication happening, or I don't understand.
Well, Blablack eats a very bad power shot to the back without his sword up, so that must have hurt. And now they're splitting up to get that pincer move in.
Yeah,
STN is caught up as well, and now the core comes in and does a ton of damage. They do break the line of sight though, for the most part, so of course not gonna do too much. But STN is almost down, and Ethereal seems comfortable in finishing him off, and almost gets the execution on the drone and just barely misses it due to the phase shift. Phase dash, I guess, or whatever. And he can't finish it off just yet.
Yeah, unfortunately Black is
2v1.
Yeah, Black is all out of juice here. He's got pretty much no health. Gonna go for the battery, but I mean it's honestly a very obvious move, and I think he's gonna get plinked here. Yep, there he goes.
Alright, so we're right back at 1-1. Raikou and Ethereal not phased at all.
I mean, hard to get rattled when you're so when you're the most winningest team in the tournament. You only dropped like 2 rounds the whole time. Pretty hard to actually get rattled.
Yep. But we've seen, even though it's just 1 round, they did show some weakness that this round before the last one. So I definitely think there is some room to work with here for Black and STN.
Yeah.
And again, Ethereal is just opening by just spamming that right lane, dissuading anyone from trying to go closer. And he's trying to try to predict the shot on BlaBlack moving sideways across his screen, but doesn't get it. And BlaBlack just commits all the way and goes past him to the spawn, but just trying to search for people.
Oh,
but
Mr. Bloblack getting pinched here really hard. That Sword Black is doing nothing. He's already down to half a bar. That is doing nothing. It's like he was not even blocking at all. This is a very dead Ronin. This is super, super bad for STN. He's got half a bar of health against a full health Scorch, and I don't know where the Legion is at right now, but who cares? Doesn't even matter. That's just a hard fight.
So it's not all bad, but yeah, they're the pretty severe disadvantage right now.
Yes, they are.
Really bad.
Mr. Bloblack gets screwed out of that dash forward as well. Those craggy rocks there. He tries to dash around them and just gets caught on a random edge. Unfortunately, just losing that whole dash. STN 1 HP. Gonna get shot by a pilot gun in the critical hit point and probably die to it. He needs to run right now to the complete other side of the map. He does not have time to be messing around with this pilot. He needs to just run. We do have Mr. Bloblack here. Ooh, getting shot out of the air by Scorch. Unfortunately. That will do it. Did the fire drop from the shot to kill the Titan? No way.
Did it?
Yeah, he shot the pilot out of the air. The fire dropped from the shot hitting the pilot, like the little globs that fell, and that's what killed the Titan.
God.
No way. Only
That's pretty
Ethereal. Only Ethereal would ever get that.
Damn, that's disgusting. Not only does he get the pilot, he also gets the other Titan. That's
With 1 shot.
God damn it. And he was also like, he was visibly shaken before because he went for the Goose on Black, I think. And Black was grappling to the ground to get down fast. He actually got a hit marker on that, but he didn't get the kill the first time. And he gets the kill later on STN, and like, it's just, I guess, karma. Gets the Titan with the same shot. Very interesting. Now we've got switching sides, and both teams contesting this choke point, going right in. It's very chaotic right off the start. Ethereal running through his own fire to have a flank here around the slant building, and hitting a good shot on BlaBlack there, and then disengaging. He's pretty low himself, so...
Oh, STN is disappointing me. He doesn't have fish sticks on his primary weapon. His Ion is not truly at maximum power. They're getting flanked from that right lane there, though. They're just kind of rotating spawns at this point. Raikou, again, that full stick of butter from that battery getting put in there. He is just such a force to be reckoned with. So much health, so much damage output. And you're fighting right where he wants to fight, across the map, while he's in that long-range mode. STN and BlaBlack getting punished here. Legion slowly meandering his way around that middle lane.
And STN looks to be going down here. His energy is being depleted, so...
Yeah, STN committing a little bit too hard to that reflect. I think he just needed to just walk away there. Instead, waste his entire battery on essentially doing nothing to Raikou. Ooh, and that satchel charge ends him, and that is going to be it for this round, I feel.
Yeah, this round
Black
is not
here,
going to last very long.
Nope. Oh, he needs to dash in and just do stuff. He didn't do it. Yeah, once he took that satchel, he needed to just walk in and start pressing buttons and hoping for the best. But this is tough. They're coming close. Like they're honestly contesting this a lot better than I thought they would be, but still it's a really rough combination that they're struggling to deal with.
I'm really, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say confused, but like, maybe baffled is a better word, at Black's
We're taking a beating. Come on, we can
Ronin
still
play
win this.
sometimes, because he
Alright,
reminds me of the type of player in like a fighting game who, you know, is in this situation where he's a hit away from dying, and he allows his opponent to run up to him and essentially mix him up in a 50-50, whether he goes for an overhead or a low,
Yep.
and he has to guess essentially, and
Yeah.
he seems to be always guessing wrong.
Yeah, he's kind of like putting himself into those situations, and yeah, and just either not getting lucky or making the wrong decisions. I mean, I guess that's kind of one and the same. Vlad like an STN doing the secret strat of loading up your teammate's Vortex shield to get that extra reflect damage for one big attack, and it actually did quite well against Raikou. That's a really, really interesting strategy that also existed in Titanfall 1, but literally no one abused it from as far as I know.
Yeah,
It still
because
exists
that,
in this game.
in Titanfall 1 that entailed having a chain gun, and having a chain gun was really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a thing. It did work as well.
You guys can see it here. They're loading up that shield. They're going for that one big spike damage. There we go. Let's see. I don't know. Did that Legion take the shot? I can't see.
No, he did not.
No.
No, he didn't get hit. I don't know how the Vortex shield works exactly in Titanfall 2, but in Titanfall 1, past a certain distance, the bullets would just disappear.
Same. It's the exact same. No changes since the first game. It's identical.
Alright.
The only thing that's different is that it's slower to activate now, which I'm sure you already knew. It's not like instant like it was the first game.
Yeah.
So this is a big reason why Ion is so powerful when you have a coordinated hit scan character behind you, is because when they try to shoot around you and you're using the Ion as a meat shield, you're loading up his Vortex shield to do even more damage. And that's a big reason why that Vortex amplifier is so powerful on coordinated teams. And they're using this strategy to great effect. They're actually taking this round. Raikou is doomed. And Mr. Blablack here going to be able to hopefully close this out if he doesn't accidentally throw. And there we go. All right. So we still got a game here, guys. 2-3. It might feel bleak, but it's a lot closer than you might think.
Yeah, they're still in this. You know, for some teams will crumble playing against match point, and other people excel at that. They just find motivation in that, like taking one round at a time and thinking to themselves, okay, this is our last chance, so let's make it count. Let's just think about how we can win this one round. They bring out this unorthodox strat and they take the round. So now the question is, can they do it again and again?
I mean, we need to, I think, rethink our usage of the word unorthodox, because at this point, this seems just like the meta strat. I mean, this is defining, right?
Oh man, we've seen so many new things today. Maybe not new things, they were known things, but you know, you'd think that fundamentals and positioning and stuff like that will win you these games, but it seems that there's a lot of impact to be had from these properties of these titans, and the synergies that can exist between them, you know?
Yeah, Mr. Blablack is dueling with this Scorch over on the right lane and actually losing. I don't understand. Oh no, he's going for the battery. He didn't see the shadow of the Scorch or hear him or what? I don't understand.
Terrible.
Mr. Blablack throwing.
This might be the tournament right there. This might be it. He's still alive. He has to keep his distance. He goes into range of that flame shield way too much. And yeah, Scorch, the third of Scorch catching that Ronin might be it. And STN is also critically low, and he goes doomed as well. Oh my god, they have so much HP on these guys now, and they're both ogres and both striders. So this is looking very bleak right now. This might be the tournament right here, guys.
Yeah, that is too bad. What a way to go.
And it's down to Blablack, and he gets terminated. And
that
that's
is the
guys.
tournament. That'll be it, my dudes. Scorch, Legion, new meta. Frothy was wrong. These are... This performance is absolutely unbelievable. I never expected this in a million years, that these guys would be running this composition, and just wow. I gotta pull these guys in here. Hopefully we can maybe get a little bit of a interview going before we close out the stream for today. I do want to talk to these guys about this comp, because this is freaking incredible what we've seen today. I was not expecting this, and I'm very impressed. Let's see who we can...
you
It
guys.
was so fun.
How are you guys
It was a lot of
feeling?
fun.
Oh my god, the rush is insane.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Shaking.
My hands are shaking. My hands are shaking. Oh my god!
That was
Congratulations, my dude. So Legion and Scorch. Like, how did you guys stumble across this new meme meta?
I'm a Legion main, and he likes to play Scorch. And we're like, yo, let's do something silly for the tournament. And then we're
Wow.
like, all right, we gotta go do it. We're gonna kill everybody with Legion Scorch.
And it worked.
I don't think it was until we started pugging or started actually like playing as a duo that we realized that it wasn't the worst thing in the world to go.
Woo!
The interesting thing that we noticed is that the core of Legion actually really well complements Scorch in a way that, normally you'd think that Scorch is a sacrifice because he doesn't have as much damage, but because you can get so much more damage out of Legion whenever he cores, it kind of closes that gap, and it doesn't hurt as much to have Scorch, and then he has so many other things that he does well, like whatever choke point he plays. And a lot of smart stuff you guys were doing, like playing only around choke points with the Scorch, like never running into the open like a lot of your opposition were doing. So controlled and very smart play all around, pretty much. Very
I
impressive.
think the hardest thing that we had to come across, in my opinion, was just North Stars. North Stars just have that ability to just instant damage you, and you can't really return it much if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah.
But ions are not the problem,
Oh my
and
God.
that feels so good. Damage output is insanity.
Yeah, so like I've seen everyone was choosing all these different compositions against you, trying to figure out how to deal with you. I saw some people going for like the long range focus, like Ion, North Star, trying to peek you, but you guys just walk them down. And like even though you take a little bit of damage coming in, you have so much health and so much damage output that by the time you get there, it didn't even matter. You have so much control over the batteries too because they're not taking control of mid. So
That was one thing we. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, please.
No. That was one thing that we decided that we had to do was push up really hard, really early, and try to either get a battery or just not let them get a battery. Don't give them ground. Just if they try and go for something, take away the other thing that they can't have for sacrificing it.
Yeah. No, I mean it's just like a Quake duel. You have red armor, you have mega health. If you see them going for that red armor, then your job is to get mega health. Don't let them get both. If you can't stop them from getting one, then let them have it and go take the other. So that really showed in your gameplay, and I think that that is really what lets you kind of set yourselves apart from everyone else in a really big way.
Thanks. That means a lot. I love it. F is amazing, by the way. So when he came to me playing, I want to play Scorch, I'm like, bro, you do you. And then he started just destroying people with Scorch.
Yeah.
Did anyone see the double flame core on the first round?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shit a brick when I saw. I was like,
yeah.
oh my god, you didn't just do that.
Yeah, dude, we were laughing about it. We were still like just doing the opening match analysis, and we just watched this core, and we're like, well, there's literally nothing to talk about here. Just Papa Scorch wins. GG, next round, let's go. Like it just happened so fast. What about on Eden? I think it was maybe the third round, maybe the fourth, something around there. That shot. That you shot Bloblack out of the air, and then the globs fell down and killed
my god,
STN.
Dude,
I didn't even realize what happened. I'm like, did he eject or something? What just happened?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure, from my perspective, I watched it, and I'll go back and watch the recording to make sure, but I think you shot Black out of the air, and the globs fell and killed the Titan below.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I was chasing Black, and I just see this little tiny speck of like gold falling from the sky, and all of a sudden Black dies. I'm like, how did that even get there? What happened?
The frosted flakes, yeah.
It's amazing.
This
So
is
guys,
a really fun tourney.
you're gonna be sticking together. You got to bring the memes for the next LTS tourney whenever that happens. We got to see if the Legion Scorch memes reign supreme, or if anyone can defeat you.
Well, that's if Respawn doesn't do anything to him in the meantime. But yeah.
Nerf Scorch.
maybe?
No, don't nerf Papa Scorch. He doesn't deserve such abuse. Aw, that was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, I
How
also
did- how
must
did
have loved how those Ronins kept running into you, huh, Ariel? Like every time it seemed someone was phase dashing, they would just appear in front of you and just put up the shield, and it's just like, nope.
Oh, I know. Oh, the best part is when I turn the corner to look at F, who's holding a flame shield, and I'm right behind him going, there's nowhere else to run, bro. You're between the hardest rock and the hardest place I've ever seen.
Yeah. Also, that last round was just like the epitome of the entire Scorch play. You're just rounding a corner, and there's this Ronin just mindlessly getting out to get the battery and gets absolutely destroyed.
A lot of the Scorch play that I went through was basically just relying a lot on sound and figuring out where everyone is, just so I can block them off in an efficient way. Like, I'm sure you guys noticed when I would start shooting walls at the start of the match or rounds, just to see if I could get like hit markers. To see where they are.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can either see where they are, and I actually pointed that out one time. I saw you got it. You were shooting from spawn, and you just got a single hit marker, and I did make a little point about that because I did think it was really nice. So glad to see that was an intentional thing you were really trying to do, because it did work at least once.
Just that once, but that's all we needed.
He's a baller, man. Don't count out Ethereal. Guy's a beast.
So now, just to close it out, I don't want to keep you guys from enjoying your victory here. If you guys had like one favorite moment from this tournament, what would it be?
Catching the tone salvo. That was the greatest. The best feeling. I literally caught the whole thing with the shield because he shot it straight up in the air.
That was that was the 180 block on Angel City, right?
Yep. And I just caught it, said, hey, watch this. This is what I use fucking Bulwark for. Turned around, caught it, dashed back. Hey, what's up, dude?
That was amazing.
That was my favorite moment.
Yeah.
It has to be the double flame. If it's not the double flame core, I don't know what it is.
I think it's double flame core. Or getting that second kill on accident.
Both of those are fantastic. I couldn't believe my eyes on either of those. I was just saying to myself, only Ethereal. This would never happen to anyone besides Ethereal. That's fantastic, my dude. Well, congratulations on your guys' victory. Thank you all for coming by and talking to us. We appreciate it. Go have fun. Go enjoy. We'll talk to you all later. Thanks, dudes.
Great casting, by the way, from both of you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one,
It was a really
guys.
fun tournament.
You too. Have a good one, gentlemen.
Yep, y'all take care.